Today, I'm finally gonna be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself. I feel like it just has to be done. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. One of my employees told me
these are mites all around.
He went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her.
I will expose everything about every person that you've ever known.
Whatever that means.
It is time to go full demon time.
I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying. I would more often do things like driving in the car together. He would be going like 150 miles an hour. And like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die. Like threatening to kill both of us.
Anyway, there's something about being trapped in a car with an angry, aggro man that is like the absolute most helpless thing. Dude, I did a guy that would go like 100 miles an hour on the, like we would fight in the car, which was never my decision. Like it just always like happened. Like we just would like fight in the car and then he'd go like 100. And I would like literally like beg him to slow down. I'd be so scared and I'd cry and then he would not slow down until I apologized. And I started driving only, like I wouldn't let him drive me anywhere. But then if we'd get in a fight while I was driving, he would like pound my ceiling in my glove box.
Ooh,
he would like
scary.
scream and like hit the ceiling and like hit the glove box and just like scream profanity. And scream like he would like just call me terrible things while he was doing it. And then I'd pull over and be like, get out of my car, and he'd be like, no. And then I was like, well, okay. Because what am I gonna do?
Yeah, what are you
What am I gonna do?
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me. And
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you over the past 2 days.
Oh my god!
Throw it back! Throw it
Yeah, there
back!
better be.
Oh my god, I would beat the shit out of him.
We're live.
What the fuck?
We're live, she says.
In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I'm sorry. I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man. The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic.
a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you can see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if people can go back and read them. They'd tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. He would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then They told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
Let's get straight into it. So not to self-promo straight off the jump, but my main channel recently got deleted at 10k subscribers and is currently under review. I'm trying to look at this on the bright side, as true content will prosper, and I believe that my content is good enough to do that. So wherever you're watching this, hopefully I can earn a subscription or a follow by the end of this video. Alright, now to explain this to people who aren't chronically on the internet. This is emiru, a League of Legends cosplay streamer who first gained popularity back in 2017 in the League of Legends community. Around the same time, another streamer who would later be her abuser, Mizkif, was gaining some notoriety, becoming Ice Poseidon, a controversial streamer's cameraman. Gaining his own cult-like following later in 2020, he founded One True King, aka OTK, a streamer conglomerate emiru would later join in 2022. That same year, emiru and Mizkif would start dating. Now from here on out, I'll be giving a short summary of the timeline that she lays out for us. She tells us that at first he came off nice and would make her feel comfortable about wanting to feel safe from stalkers, a problem that emiru was previously dealing with in Kansas. Which now that I think of it, she's probably still dealing with it, or at least very paranoid about it, as she was just attacked 3 weeks ago. She explains how it started slow with him just throwing plastic water bottles at her, even after she tells him that it scares her and that she breathes easily. It's rumored that there was also an incident where he threw his phone at her, later giving her a black eye, which she explained that she ran into something on stream.
I actually had like a small black eye from running into something and no one could tell. Yeah, no one could tell. I thought I wouldn't be able to cover it because it was really bad. What'd you run into? I was like turning a corner really fast and I hit like the bottom of my eye socket on the wall. How? Wait, let me see if I can find a picture.
Besides the control freak stuff, this is where we learn about our first sign of abuse and the major turning point in our story, the 2024 Rest stream. This made him so upset that he texts emiru and says that he hates her, how he hates everyone in that home and how everyone just takes from him, how he wants to self-exit, and how he's waited so long just to get outperformed. He gets so upset that he makes it a point to take the exit closest to emiru's room, apparently making sure that she could see him, and he slams the glass door over and over again louder each time until it breaks, which we catch all on stream.
The first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing. I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public, there are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out, you know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then
No, I hardly slept
I start
last night.
seeing in my chat people start
That's why I seem
saying,
tired today. I was tired. 'Cause I'm
unofficial
fucking
Ms.
tired,
raid,
I'll be
and
honest.
I'm like, what does that mean?
Alright, chat. I'll see you guys later.
And then I check my Discord messages, and he's
guys.
messaging me.
Probably tonight. If
He's
not
saying
tomorrow.
like, Emmy,
I'm fucking zooted
you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. Basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops. Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real, but yeah, he starts messaging me, he's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are.
Why? Listen.
But yeah, he ended his stream.
Like we
And then
murdered.
I'm
Like we
still
haven't
alive,
pillaged.
you know, trying
Like
to act
we
like
haven't-
nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. There were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening.
We haven't pillaged.
And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. Go to the restroom real quick. I get up and I go talk to him. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me. And like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours, finish the stream, do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad.
Imagine how it may feel to be streaming after 10 years now, to just be worried about outperforming your boyfriend, worried about doing better than him, so that you don't feel like you have to give up your hobby for him, almost like it was taken away from you. That's what she was feeling, like streaming was being taken away from her.
He would throw things in front of me and near me, destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And then at home, other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense?
It got to the point where Amara's only chance to get out of that house was just going on stream and announcing that she's moving. That was her getaway plan for all this. There's no way to actually talk her way out or anything. It was just say it on stream so that I can commit and everyone knows I'm moving.
Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that rough stuff happened.
Now, this is the one that had me thinking that not only is Mizkif abusive, but it's extremely excessive to go out of your way to find the person that you're trying to argue with, to follow them throughout homes, to go and argue in someone else's household. I mean, that's just another kind of petty.
Sneak out, and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code, and Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it, and they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically.
Now that to me is the saddest part of the video. The fact that she felt as if she couldn't even come out and say any of this, as to not be a burden for others.
No.
After all of this, she gives a strong statement on her assault, and I'm gonna let her tell you that on her own.
Not in a relationship with, but I let him hold me while I was crying, and he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot, and then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go.
Now, I've been editing this video all night, and it feels like Mizkif has been letting out any kind of statement one after another. He's responding to almost everything in his stream.
Obsessed with streaming and viewership. And when my cancellation happened, and even before it, I mean, it's something you guys know. I've been massively obsessed with streaming and viewership over the years, and it's disgusting, and it has ruined my fucking life. It is something that I am envious of others. I am angry at others because of it. It makes me jealous when I see others doing well, and it has made me realize that I am, I'm never happy for someone else if they're doing much better than me. You guys know this is true if you watch my old stream. I've always been this way. I've been very envious of other people. We were in a toxic relationship. I saw that. I've realized over the years of 2 relationships now online that I'm a horrible boyfriend, and I have a lot to work on for myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was gonna...
Wait, so she... No, I gotta be getting trolled. Wait, I'm not even kidding. Is this a joke? That is your... Did I just hear him say she threw a plushie at it? That's fucking, like... Just...
I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go. I love you."
What the fuck is he even talking about?
That was really him? That was an AI? What?
His entire statement was so unbelievably stupid it has these guys thinking that it was AI. Now, although I saw the question a lot, he did not answer it once throughout the entire stream if he actually did assault her, but he does double down on the rabbit stuff.
They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay.
All you want. I have nothing to lose. And I will say this proudly. Emiru abused those rabbits. Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. Okay?
Now, if I've ever wanted a statement to age like milk, it's this one. I am tired of seeing this guy on the platform. For I don't know how many years this guy has had another allegation after another allegation after another allegation, and it's only time that we get him out of here. I mean, even with Emiru coming out, there was another person that also came out at TwitchCon and said that he did some similar things to her. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that there's a pretty easy fix here, and that's simply not letting this guy back on the platform. This is a guy that will use his own OnlyFans sister for views. Lord knows what else he's going to do for an extra view.